We got the new Live Squad album titled The Recruiters, featuring R&B mogul y'all about to know about. His name is Manny Rebel, featuring the YTDs, featuring Zoe Baller, and a couple other artists that it's called The Recruiters because I'm the recruiter recruiting in the new troops, the Live Squad, to the whole music genre. You know what I'm saying?
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Now, after the formation of the Live Squad, how did you come to sign with Tommy Boy Records? How did that come about?
I call my neighborhood like the mecca of hip hop. Bronx created it, but Queens brought the money to it. Queens made sure that for the Queens, the big companies seen that this is going to be around and it's going to be money made out of it because of Run DMC and all of that. Ed Lover is from my neighborhood too. He grew up around my way, so he brought us to Def Jam, and we had got to deal with Def Jam, and that didn't work out. And then Tommy Boy, we took the same demo to Tommy Boy, and Tom Silverman went crazy, and we ended up being one of the groups with the biggest signing bonus ever on Tommy Boy at that time. That's how that happened.
Why were you dropped from that label?
Well, everybody at that time, hip hop, hardcore, that's what they named it, hardcore anyway. I call it reality rap. But at that time, Ice-T had put out a group called Body Count, and it was under, Time Warner, Tommy Boy, you know what I'm saying? So there was a big thing over that Body Count group that Ice-T had, and I guess people started pulling out of Time Warner, and people was beefing about it, and this, that, and the other. So Time Warner let go of all their hardcore acts. They let go Ice-T, they let go Parrish, they let go Cold Chillin', and that Cold Chillin' was a whole label. That was Cool G Rap, that was the Juice Crew, that was all of that. They let all of that go. But they didn't let us go because we had a big meeting. They flew everybody out to the Warner Brothers building in California, the big meeting at the round table, big old 90-year-old guys there. It was crazy. But at that meeting, we didn't get dropped. Everybody else got dropped except us. So we still had our release dates for the album to come out. We only dropped a single, Heartless, and the B-side was Murderer. The album was supposed to come out with the mini movie. We the first ones to ever do a mini movie called The Game of Survival. But I guess like a month and change went past, and then we got the call that they dropped us too. But it was due to the fact, of Ice-T and that little body count group you had.
Now, this is when Dan Quayle was making all the noise about so-called gangster rap.
Yeah.
And all right, did they ever at any point before dropping you ask you to change your image to try to restructure the group?
No, no. But we was all right after that happened because we was a self-maintained group. We was producing, and we was still producing Tupac and Nas and all of that. So that's what kept us afloat through the industry. But when it came down to Tommy Boy, it was like we was done with them. It was nothing else. There was no ties between us after that happened.
So I guess that would answer my follow-up question, which would be, would you have even entertained the idea of changing your image to stay on Tommy Boy Records?
No, because I don't have an image. I'm just me. So that would have been like, I would have been like, what y'all talking about? I'll change my image. So that
Abs-
would have been,
Absolutely.
that would
Did that move by them piss you off?
which one? Them dropping us?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, of course. We in these streets, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of us out here, man, it's either, you know, singing, rapping, entertaining, there was our way out. You know what I'm saying? And when that happened, it was like I cried. You know what I'm saying? I cried because you see what happened. I lost my brother on these streets. You know, we were still out here. You know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. You in Chicago, you know. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, but you know, we still out here. You know, keeping it going.
Around this time, you were going out to Oakland to work with Digital Underground. Can you tell us how that came about? Were you already friends with Shock G and those people out there in Oakland at the time?
Yeah, I mean, like I told you, Ed Lover. 'Cause a lot of people don't know that Shock G is from Queens. You know, he's from Far Rock. Him, Ed Lover, Mark Sachs, they all grew up together. I mean, went to school together. You know, that was back when bands was in like Earth, Wind and Fire and all that. They was around each other back when that was in. And I guess Shock had moved to California, but they never got out of contact, you know. And then when he was pursuing his music career out there and all of that, you know, he got in touch with, and they never fell out of contact. Ed was with us, you know, we doing our music. I guess he let them know that he had a producer. He let Shock know they got a producer out there. So the next thing you know, they hooked us up with Shock. Next thing you know, we flying to Oakland, you know, doing beats with Shock, you know, and that's how that came about.
Did you have a period of adjustment producing for Digital Underground because they had a completely different sound? It was more of a funk type of sound. Was that an issue at all when you started producing for Digital Underground and Tupac?
No, because Shock wanted different, you know, he wanted to cover different ground. So I guess with us, we would cover the street aspect, you know, and our production. So we only did what, like, two tracks? We did the No Nose Job remix, and my brother was rhymes on the Family Affair. And I think that's, if I'm not mistaken, I think that's all we really did with Shock, you know, on the production trip. But that was our family, you know, every show, everything, you know. He helped us with a couple of tracks on the Game of Survival that never came out, a song called Trouble on My Mind. And, you know, that was just family, you know, that was Big Bro right there.
Now, this more led into a lot of more production with Tupac. Can you, and I know you've probably been asked this a million times, but can you tell the fans how you met Tupac and your first impression of Tupac?
Well, me, now, that's what I forgot to tell you, too. Like, remember, wasn't no big money running around back when we were producing for Pop. I mean, for Shock and all that. So the first time, when we went to Oakland, I didn't go, but my brother went. You know, my brother was out there, and we was out here. So he met Pac before I met Pac. He met Pac in like '89. You know, I met Pac in '90, the next year, when we had a show to do in California. I think because we were signed to No Face, which is Ed Lover's label. It was a No Face Def Jam split, you know, No Face Def Jam, and we was artists on No Face. You know what I'm saying? So they had to they did a what's that, like a what kind of show is that, like when you showcasing your label getting ready to come out, you know, a showcase, I guess. They did a show, a release party, yeah. So they brought us out there to perform, and we did the show. With that matter of fact, the same day Dre slapped D Bonds from Pump It Up. Do you remember that? Do you recall that?
Yes, sir.
That party right there was the first time we ever performed, and that's the day I met Tupac. Like, it was like I knew him already, but that's when first time I actually met him. And he was so happy for us, man, when we got off the stage, jumping all over us and shit. It was like I already knew him, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like a automatic connect, you know what I'm saying? So, and that's how that went.